We are at 1135 the Avenues condos, and I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough with each building. Things are looking pretty sharp here. We just need to fine tune. So we need to deadhead these roses. We can cut them way back. There are some new buds on some of them, but we can cut some of the dead branches down fairly low. Just give it a nice haircut so it's a little bit more level, and we don't have all the dead popping out along the pathway here. Just kind of getting some of the overhanging things, cleaning up debris on the front edge, and there tends to be a lot of dead grasses. With these iris, let's really give them a good cleanup, pulling out a lot of this dead, simply like this. You can do it pretty fast. It's hard to film and do it, but let's clean out a lot of the dead. You can see some of the new growth down here coming on, but let's clean out a lot of the dead in there. The dogwoods could use a little bit of a trim. We've got some little surprises up there, so we should bring a ladder. The spireas could be shaped a little bit better, but and again, the iris, if we get after them now, it will save us time for fall cleanup. In here, we can kind of clean this up a little bit to make it less messy. The grasses are getting fairly big, so we'll see what we can do with those to maybe split those this fall, but depending on their budget. Anyways, iris again. And then with this corner, just all those grass clippings, if we could rake all that out, get that looking sharp. We've got debris in there as well. The geraniums can be cut, down to all this new green growth, so those can be cut back a bit right now. See, we have some little volunteer weeds there, but all in all, this is looking pretty good. There's a lot of dead, not the plumes, but the dead down below in these blue oats that can be cleaned out. And then again with the lilies, just cleaning out a lot of the dead, but they are blooming again, which is kind of fun. This geranium looks good. It's just the one on the far side that's a little dry. And then those roses, just deadhead those way back. We will cruise up along the side. Most everything looks pretty good. We need to figure that out up there, and find the source. It doesn't belong, so we need to trim it down and pull it out. But we will have the ladder, so hopefully we can get after that. And there's maples and stuff that are getting big. We really need to make sure we can pay attention, and there's lots of debris under that tree as well. So this yew, we can cut out a lot of the dead there just to sharpen it up. And again, get after the iris. Let's cut these Arctic willows way back. All that dead underneath needs to be trimmed. The blue oats, same thing. Clean out a lot of the dead. Roses, deadheading. Any debris, paper, garbage, cleaned up. This over here looks fairly sharp, but we can cut the roses out of the daphnes. Iris again, let's clean those up. The hostas got beaten up this year for sure, so next year we'll just stay on top of keeping them free from snails. Again, this area, quick rake to make it look sharp. The iris and deadheading roses. So kind of a similar thing around with similar plants. And then all these lilies here. Just clean up the dead. And then let's deadhead these roses. It looks like we have a lot of debris back here. I don't know if that was left from us or maybe someone came out to cut some stuff. But let's clean up the iris again on this side. Yeah, lots of rose debris back there, which I don't know why, but we need to make sure we're on top of that and cleaning that up. And then all the dead out of these iris, we can take lots of the side of the iris out. Then we will come back around. You know, we have debris pile there. We need to sharpen up this area. We need to take that down, this maple volunteer, because it's just not going to grow well there. We've got debris over here that needs to be attended to. And just sharpen this area up. Let's get any of the big volunteers out so they don't create a problem, and clean up the iris, and just give this a good rake and blow. A lot of this can be cleaned up, and we need to do that. Get a lot of the needles out. Here we will clean up the iris again. There's volunteers back here that need to be taken out, and that's volunteers there. Okay. The youth could use a little trim. All this area, all the needles raked, cleaned up quickly. Iris cleaned up. Volunteers there. Watch out for dog poop. So a few volunteers popping up in this area. Obviously blowing the walkways and whatnot. And debris. Those youths could use a little trimming. The iris along here. And lots of needles to kind of clean up. And then down in here, it's not too bad, but let's cut this spirea back. I would take it down to a third, just take the whole thing down, and hopefully it'll regenerate new growth. Because right now it just looks really bad. And then there's just some debris and stuff back in there, dead branches and whatnot, and then we just need to rake and clean out this bed. Okay, that's basically the main big building.